Jacksonville corrections officer accused of hitting an inmate several times found herself in handcuffs today, and now she's without a job. That officer is the fourth JSO employee arrested this year. Our Ann Schindler joins us now with the details. Ann.
That's right. Well, Pat Ivey, the undersheriff, said that the arrest of Catherine Thompson today showed that other JSO officers are actually doing their jobs. He said that the complaint initiated with her sergeant and the commanding officer on duty. Now, according to their complaint, Catherine Thompson, the officer that was arrested today, had an encounter with a woman who was arrested for driving on a suspended or a revoked license. That woman was placed in 4-point restraints, which is handcuffs and leg shackles connected with a chain. Under Sheriff Ivey said that the two exchanged verbally disparaging comments before Thompson, who's a 14-month veteran, attacked. Ivey says Thompson struck the woman with her fists and then sprayed her with pepper spray.
While being in 4-point restraints, the arrestee said something to the corrections officer that infuriated her, and the corrections officer then struck the arrestee in the face, knocking her to the ground. She then proceeded to follow her to the ground and struck her multiple more times.
Now, Catherine Thompson was arrested and charged with official misconduct and battery, which is a misdemeanor. Because she was within her first 18 months of employment at JSO, she wasn't entitled to civil service protections, and so she was fired outright. Live at the Duval County Jail in downtown Jacksonville, Ann Schindler, First Coast News, on your side.